Okay guys, I just got out of seeing F1 in theaters, and here's my out-of-theater reaction, no spoilers. Now, I've often used the term, this movie is less than the sum of its parts. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when you go down the film school report card and you go through every single aspect of the filmmaking process, the acting, the directing, the cinematography, the sound, the score, the sound design, everything, right? The editing, everything. It gets like an A+, a really, really solid score. But then when you say what's the overall score of the movie, it'd be like a B+. Now, I'm not gonna say this movie's a B+. This movie is fantastic, it's great. But it does feel a little familiar though. Now, there's plenty of racing movies out there. Like, I'm just gonna use one as an example, Rush from 2013. It's a great movie, great movie. But this movie has that exact same racing formula, kind of like the sports movie, right? You know, the underdog team that wins the championship, like it's the same structure as those movies. So you know exactly what's going to happen, but the way that they tell it and the journey to get there is fantastic. Now, I'm not going to be the only one who talks about this or mentions this, but Tony Scott back in the 80s goes from fighter jets to race cars with Top Gun to Days of Thunder. And Joseph Kosinski has done the same thing. He goes from the fighter jets of Top Gun 2 to the race cars, aka the Formula One cars of Formula One. So it seemed like the natural progression. And this movie was extremely exciting. Go see it in IMAX if you can. It is, a phenomenal experience. The soundtrack from Hans Zimmer, like, the guy can do no wrong. Like, are you kidding me? The directing, the editing, it's just exhilarating stuff. I got exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting a fantastic thrill ride, and I got a fantastic thrill ride. So my expectations weren't subverted by any means, or I was not necessarily blown away. I knew what to expect. I was hoping for exhilarating action sequences, the racing. I was, hoping to get into the story and, understand and like the characters well enough. Again, it's a pretty simple story. We've seen it a million times, but it's told well here, right? So again, this is a hard score to give. I want to give it like a 5 out of 5 because I really, really loved it. But in terms of just like expectations and wanting to be blown away, and I haven't seen anything like this before, I'd give that a 4. Maybe this is the perfect 4 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5 movie. But you know what though? I think just give it a few days and I'll be like, yeah, that's an amazing movie. You know what? I'll do it right now. 5 out of 5 for F1.